Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jeremy. I help people create a better reality for themselves. So today, I'm going to be talking about how your consciousness literally manifests directly your reality. And it's literally quantum physics. It's science. Like this, science has proven this. So in quantum physics, the act of observing a wave collapses that wave into a particle, creating matter, which is mind-blowing because that just proves, scientifically, by the way, that the second you observe something, you create matter and reality. Everything is a wave of pure potentiality until a human observer, conscious observer, observes it, collapsing it into a particle, creating matter. Like if you actually fully understand that, it's just absolutely mind-blowing because that just means that everything around you that you observe, the act of observing it makes it real. That means you can go within yourself and start changing that thing that you want to change. But you can only do that if you go within yourself. You start going within yourself and you start observing things differently, you will start seeing the world in a different way. And that's because you literally interact with reality on a subatomic level all the time. And that's why, like, with media and what we watch every day, you're creating reality. The more stuff you watch, have you noticed, you ever go down the rabbit hole on social media, especially on the news cycle, and you're seeing more and more and more and more and more? It's because you're literally creating that. You're creating that right now. You could also choose, because we're also living in multiple parallel realities all the time. Every single second is a parallel reality. So it's like, you can look at a couple articles, you could be like, this doesn't make me feel good. I don't like this article, but this one makes me feel good. I like this article. So you could click on the good article and it'll lead your consciousness and your mind and your emotions down a good rabbit hole. Or you could choose the negative one. It'll put you in a negative vibration and a negative state of mind. So it's so crazy. I was just like, all you could do, but it's the act of consciously choosing that. So that's the other thing is this is consciously choosing. And the thing is, we're so subconscious all the time, and we don't know this, that life just happens. That's why so many times we're like, oh, life just happens. Like, I can't help it. That's reality. No, well, it is because that's what you believe. And if you believe that, then that's the way it's going to happen. But if you start realizing that I can actually control it, and just by observing. So if I can start choosing to empower myself, if I start saying, I create my own reality, I'm going to have a good day. Today's going to be awesome. I'm going to run into some awesome friends I haven't seen in a long time. I'm going to make some new friends. And your day's going to start going that way. But if you start looking at a negative and you start being like, oh, today sucks, I'm not in a good mood, I'm sore, I have a headache, then your day's going to go that way. It's just that simple, really. And you realize that, you could start picking and choosing your thoughts and your emotions. And if you start picking and choosing positive, you're going to see more of that. You're literally directly creating your reality on a day-to-day basis. The thing is, we're just so subconscious all the time. And we have so many subconscious behaviors and thoughts and processes and the way we were growing up, that's what over controls the narrative in our life. So that's why we believe that we can't control, and why we believe that reality just so happens to happen to us. And that's why things seem unfair all the time. And that's why things seem like, we can't help it. But in reality, you really can. So it's like, whatever you're consuming on a day-to-day basis, that's molding your reality around you. And when it comes to like finances and stuff, right? Like, you look at the economy and, oh, what's going on with the economy? What's going on with the market? Well, if you start looking at that stuff and you look at the negative part of it, then you're going to start subconsciously spending more money and you're not even thinking about it. You might go into more debt because you're just like, oh, the economy's not doing good, this, that, and third. Next thing you know, you want a dopamine hit in your brain, so you go and spend money, you go and buy stuff because you just feel like, you want to give up. And a lot of people right now, especially a lot of millennials, Gen Z, we're doing that right now. A lot of us are doing that. We're it's called doom spending. A lot of us are doom spending because we just don't feel that there's a way out. And by having that belief, you were creating that belief. You were literally going out subconsciously and creating that and making it true. And then if you believe that and you start thinking like, oh, these big corporations and the politicians and all this, that, and third, you're going to start seeing more of that. And then you're just proving it to yourself that you're right. And you are, because that's what you believe. But you can change that and you can start seeing the good. If you, like politicians, corporations, whatever, start seeing the good in everything and you'll start seeing good. There's positive and negative is positive. You start looking for the positive in something that you originally had a negative belief in, and you'll see positive in that. And I'll tell you, because I started listening to all these economists and all this stuff about how negative on the economy and everything, and sometimes I still do that. And then next thing you know, I realize I'm out spending money because I'm just proving to myself that the economy is bad. And because of that, you end up subconsciously spending more money, or you start doing things that get in your own way, or you start making less money because you're in that vibration of not making enough money. And then the next thing you know, you'll start complaining about your job, or if you're self-employed, you won't be making that much money. And it's because that's what you're focusing on. That's why I'm telling you guys, you got to be very careful with your thoughts and your emotions and the stuff you consume, because the stuff you consume is creating your reality around you. And it's your emotions, which is your subconscious. Your subconscious mind is your emotional mind. That's why the news media gets you guys emotional. Because when they get you emotional, they got you hooked. They're like, oh, just get all these people emotional, throw all this stuff that'll piss them off and get them all upset. And then we hook them. We got them. And then they'll start watching our program more often. So they use fear-based to get you guys to watch news. Because guess what? Positive stuff doesn't sell as much as negative stuff. And then it's, you know, a lot of people blame the media for why things are going bad, but it's like you're consuming the media. By you consuming it, you're part of that system. And if more people wake up and they start watching more positive stuff and they ignore the news and they don't watch that stuff, then they have to cater to what their clients want. So if you start watching more positive stuff, the news will have nothing to do but to start focusing on more positive stuff, because they'll be losing viewers. It's all about profit, right? If you're not making money, you got to figure out, why aren't you making money? What do your viewers want? And then that's how you start making your money. So if you don't like what's going on, you can change it by focusing on positive things, focusing on the things you do want. Because if you're focusing on things you don't want, you're just going to create a shitty reality for yourself. And then by doing that, when you're focusing on things you don't want, you're on a lower vibration and you're not helping anybody. No amount of feeling bad for someone or negative emotion towards what's going on in the world right now is going to help any of those people out. And you're just going to be on the vibration of all those people being in a bad situation, and you're going to create more of it. There's actually a thing done years ago where the media lied about a certain situation that never happened. And actually, because they lied about it and enough people believed in it, they actually created that. There was like I forget what it was. It was like a mass murder of like all these people dying in a certain area in this part of the world. And it was a complete lie. And because enough people watched it, because enough consciousness watched it and believed it, it actually ended up happening in that part of the world. It's like the craziest thing. That's how much our minds can create. That's why when they have a mass group of people meditating in certain cities, I think there was one time where they had 30,000 people meditating in a city on peace, that the crime rate dropped in that city by like 60%. Your consciousness is very, very powerful. And you don't want anybody to tell you you can't do something. And you don't want to tell other people that because of who they are, where they came from, that they can't do something. You don't want to not empower people. You want to empower people. You want to be like, it doesn't matter who you come from, where you're from. You can accomplish anything you want. That's what you need to do. You need to start empowering yourself. You need to start empowering people, because the world will only get better when you start focusing, number one, first on yourself, realizing you can do anything you want and accomplish anything you want. And then empower enough other people so they can do the same thing. That's how you create change. You don't create change by rallying against something. You create change by rallying for something and helping those people out. No matter how much things that are going negative, by you focusing on that, it's not going to create it into a positive way. You can be focusing on the positive or the negative. You can be in a low vibration or a high vibration. It's your choice. I appreciate you guys watching this video. I want you to comment below positivity. I want you guys to comment below positivity. Until then, I'll see you next time.